going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode here on the After Hours podcast. My name is Mr. J. Gilbert. As always, we got two of, if not the best co-host in the game, Schmidtty32 and DyslexicOctopi, bringing you all the news, all the things, and the stuffs. And we have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead and get to it. Schmidty, go ahead and introduce yourself for all the first-time viewers out there, or just viewers of the episode.
Welcome on in, folks. Welcome on into the latest and greatest edition to the After Hours podcast. I'm Schmidty32, charity variety streamer, currently raising money for Second Chance Dog Rescue. We stream Tuesdays through Saturdays, do a variety of content, but I can't help myself. I am super into managed democracy at the moment. So you will mainly find us playing that game and just hanging out, having a good time. So we don't worry about quantity of time, but quality of time. So anytime you can come throw a lurk and hang out, always appreciated. We have music, Pokemon, and we'd be happy to have you. You can find me at twitch.tv/Schmidty32.
Perfect. Dyslexic, take it away.
I'm DyslexicOctopi. You can find me on Twitch as well. And I usually stream when I'm not being kidnapped by Mr. J to do things like this.
Facts. My name is Mr. Gilbert, and I like turtles.
Perfect.
I stole Schmidty's line and nothing.
Yeah. I was
Ninja
gonna
turtles
say,
or just turtles?
No, I'm just turtles, I guess. I'm gonna.
It's like for all the people that watched the episode each week, they're gonna know it's a shout out from last week, and Schmidty says nothing.
What's the? Well, no, I was just like, what's it called when you? You like plagiarized me. I was gonna say I'm gonna have my people contact your people. I'm taking it back.
But my name is Mr. J. Gilbert. I am a teacher by day, streamer by night. I stream a lot of community-style games to where if you are able and you can join us in the game that we're playing, feel free to join in. I'll play a lot of Skull and Bones, Helldivers, New World from time to time, and a lot of other variety of community-style games. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Time here on twitch.tv/Mr. J. Gilbert. We'll see you next time. All right, guys. I
thought you were gonna say, "All right, that's it. Let's go play Helldiver." I thought, like, literally, I was so dramatic right there. I was like, "Wait, is that it?" I mean.
And thanks for tuning in for the intros. We'll catch you in Helldivers.
The adrenaline.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yes,
And
back to the fight.
Man, first episode or first segment I always like to start with here on the podcast is what's on your mind, and this time Dyslexic start us off. What's on your mind, my friend?
Oh no. Yeah. Well, we got our little schedule this week, good sir. So I was thinking the Remnant 2 has got a new Invoker archetype that's looking pretty nice, and it'll go really well with the Ritualist because it helps out with status damage. It's very cool. Nice little wave and lightning bolt stuff. I'm amped. I'm excited for it. I'm ready.
DyslexicOctopi and I will be playing through the new Forgotten Kingdom DLC this Thursday night. So stick around on either DyslexicOctopi's channel or my channel, and we'll be playing through that.
Yeah, I'll definitely stream that one. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good stuff.
You gotta wait for me though. You can't stream early.
Why not?
You can't play it before me. Play Helldivers
Why
until
not?
I get on. Play Helldivers until I get online.
Now I can play Helldivers. It's okay now.
Yes, until I get there.
Right,
Schmidty, what's about you, man? What's on your mind?
You know, I've been thinking a little bit about it this week. On stream the other day, we watched like movie trailers, like stuff coming out later this year, early next year. And kind of what's been on my mind is reboots. Some of them, for example, The Crow. Some things I just do not feel like should be rebooted. Yep. Some things should just stay how they are. And another one of these that we're going to be getting into later in the podcast, but like the Crow reboot, and I really like, God, what's his name? Bill Skarsgård. I like him. He's great.
Yep.
But I feel like they're touching into a taboo that just shouldn't be done. And are we at the point where it's just original movies are dying and it's just everyone's just coming out with #bullshit that just 100% misses the mark?
Well, that's
And
going to lead
it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah, that's going to lead into a lot of our topics today because for some reason a lot of our topics kind of fall around movies instead of video games kind of this week.
That's why it was like on my mind. I
Yeah.
got other things I wanted to talk about
Yeah.
today. I'm just like movie reboots is just one of those things that it's just more often than not are not worth the trouble and just absolutely bomb and just almost destroy, like, you know, in Karate Kid, you know, I don't know if anyone, like, when they rebooted that with Jaden Smith and everything, it's just like you can't try to remake something like that and miss the mark so fucking bad, man. It just it almost ruins it for you. It's like, well, Karate Kid's ruined for me now, or The Crow's ruined for me now.
Right.
And I don't know. So reboots, remakes have been heavily on my mind this week. And
you know, from the Super Bowl, the Twisters, that's getting rebooted or remade or whatever. So
is it really?
Well, I mean, that's like more of a
tornado
sequel.
twister.
It's like it's a
like trailer dropped during the Super Bowl. And, dude, I'm pretty sure it's the same story. If you watch that trailer, they did a lot of the same things. Like, it's a little bit different.
How much could you do with a tornado? Like,
dude,
you know, it's like you chase a tornado and it throws shit through the air.
But like storyline though, it seemed very similar to like the original.
Because the guy was getting a divorce or whatever, right? Or did get a divorce, and that was the thing, and then he had to work with her again. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Did you know that movie was actually filmed in Iowa?
I did not.
True story. The movie Twister was filmed in Iowa. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's the best state.
One of my mom's like church friends, actually, she owned a bakery down in, and it was kind of in your area, kind of in, I think it was filmed over in south, kind of western Iowa.
Okay.
But she would like bring cupcakes and like was in charge of some of the snacks and stuff on the movie set as they were filming Twister and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's
nice. Super cool.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. What's on my mind, and it kind of goes. It's just kind of more of I'm thinking about it, not necessarily like it's a controversy of sorts, but like DLCs in games. So like Hogwarts Legacy, I recently fully beat that. Right, Hogwarts Legacy is not going to get DLC. They're working on like a Hogwarts Legacy 2. Okay, and then like with Remnant 2 having DLC coming out. Another one of my games having Total War Warhammer 3 has DLC coming out next week. Like, is DLC, I guess my question for you guys, just kind of what's on my mind, is DLC a must for a game? Or can they like create a good solid base game and then just move on to like game 2 instead of having like DLC for it? Do you get what I'm saying? Is DLC like a must in like today's genre?
In my opinion, I almost feel like, I mean, not a must, but I mean, heavily implied that should be there. How many, you know, I'll take, for example, concerts that you go to, the whole like encore. Yeah. Even though your sets are done, you're almost expected to come on and do like that last song. Okay. And then so I feel like with a lot of games, especially successful games, I mean, why not have a little mini encore? And again, as long as the price point is reasonable, and as we've talked about so often throughout the time, as long as, you know, the money's worth it, like I'll happily support the studio and stuff to do that.
Yeah.
But when it's just a straight up like cash grab and stuff, and it's Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, if I spend $10 or $20 and I literally get a 10 or 15-minute DLC,
right?
No, I'm done.
Right. Yeah.
But if I can spend $10-20 and I can get a good solid like 4 to 8 hours of content,
right,
I'm gonna be happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, like 11 in chat, my chat said Baldur's Gate 3. So Baldur's Gate 3 as of right now isn't gonna get like DLC, maybe later, but like as of right now it's not. But the way they made the game is you can keep playing it multiple times and experience things you haven't done that's on your first playthrough. So it's that's what I'm kind of saying. It's like, why can't they just make base games originally full of that type of content where like it's a complete game? Because what kind of, again, like what was been on my mind about it is I feel like nowadays, like kind of what we were saying, Schmidtty, is like you kind of expect it, right? Kind of like the encore, like a little bit extra. So I also feel like games are now being made just because people know and expect paid DLC is coming.
I think
why can't they just add that game in originally?
I think with the bigger things, bigger companies, 100%.
You know, I
It's
think the
like
bigger question. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Uh,
Go, Schmitty.
I feel like the bigger question is, you know how some companies they have paid DLC and some
Mhm.
actually release expansions and stuff like that free of charge. Now I think, you know, is it expected or warranted or anything for them to come out with it? Like, you know, I think so. But
Mhm.
I think the main question is, you know, how much, you know, because some do come out and it's free. They do free expansions, and
Right.
then, you know, it's like we've talked about many times on the podcast where it's like it takes man hours, it takes time to code all that stuff and make it. So it's like, you know, do companies charge you for that?
Yeah.
You know, you know, maybe getting a less of a player response from it instead of releasing it in free again, getting more people in it, but don't really then have the revenue or resources to yet expand on that story. Now, should everyone maybe come out with like one free DLC or have like one like that and like just
Mhm.
have something ready to pop out? You know, or work on over the, you know, 6 months and release while you're working on that next project, you know, but
Right.
are you going to come out time and time again with free DLCs? That's not going to happen.
Right.
But that's kind of what I think of that.
Yeah.
I think companies and games in general should strive for making them the most complete they can be on release, but I understand that like games take a really long time, especially something like Baldur's Gate, right? With also all those options, and you have to make sure all those options work, that they can all be
The
found, that
storylines,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Like that's a lot of effort and work into a one shot.
Right.
So as long as there is something that's complete, and I think Rem 2 has done a pretty good job with that. Like it is a complete story, and I don't feel that they could have included the Lost King or the Forsaken King, whatever it was,
Mhm.
right? DLC with the base game, because it wouldn't have had the same impact because you hadn't met those characters yet.
Sure.
You hadn't
Sure.
experienced that side of the story. So them releasing that later, I think was acceptable because it added on to what you already know. It added to the story. But just saying like, oh, here's a bonus mission later on down the road that doesn't have any bearing or impact
Right.
to the overarching story, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think in that case I would spend the money for it.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was just kind of when I was thinking about. Like I said, I just beat Hogwarts Legacy, and that doesn't have any DLC, which I'd be so cool if it did. You know, added in like Diagon Alley or even Quidditch or something like that, right? But that's not going to have
Right.
any. But then a couple of the games that I do play, like I said, Remnant and Warhammer, they're coming out with DLC coming up, and I'm like, why didn't they just have us originally? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just
You know, well,
kinda
gaming
what I was thinking
studios
about.
could bring the hype just a little later, as well, where it's like, you know, maybe instead of like having or like completing the game and having that ready and having 2 months of development into something else, so when the game releases, you're already a little ahead on like the next DLC, but you are still putting out a complete project. So maybe if it's, you know, going to be released in 6 months, maybe you wait that year or whatever, you wait a couple months before you be like, hey, game's coming out announcement. So
Right.
that way, not only is the game polished off, but you already have a head start on something else after the complete project. So that way, you know, you could deliver that in a timely fashion. If
Sure.
it was going to, again, be part of a free process, you could, again, have some of that money go towards that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys, we got some discussion topics to get to. And again, like we said earlier, a lot of our topics are kind of centered just around movies. We usually talk about video games a lot, but I feel as if, not necessarily it's a down week for video games, but not necessarily a lot of things coming out. I know the Remnant 2 DLC is coming out, but other than that, there's nothing really
Isn't
that's
there,
kind of gone on.
Isn't there
Well,
something,
everything's next month.
Yeah. Next month's
Yeah, I
gonna
was
be
going to say,
huge.
isn't there like a gaming? Oh, did we just have E3? Isn't there something else getting ready to happen? Isn't there like
Over
a
the
June
summer.
thing?
Over the summer, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm like, it might
Games
just be that
Expo or
little
something
lull
like
right
that.
now where it's like
Right.
waiting for, you know, kind of that next
Right.
big batch of reveals.
But yeah, first topic that we've found here, and this guy is his career is just reinvigorated. Keanu Reeves has now been confirmed to voice Shadow in the new upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. Jim Carrey is confirmed to be back as well as Dr. Robotnik, and so Keanu Reeves is going to be voicing Shadow. Like, Keanu Reeves, ever since John Wick,
Mhm.
is now like AAA actor. You know what I mean?
I mean, he was already really good. He was just doing a bunch of indie stuff because he wanted to do different things. And yeah,
Sure.
just John Wick just blew up so bad. Everybody started to call for him.
Right.
So
I'm
I just
excited.
remember Sandra Bullock and Speed, you know? I think that was like my
That's right.
first introduction. And then there was, I think, Chain Reaction.
Yes.
Him and somebody. Like, I remember I watched the shit out of those two movies growing up, man. And Bill and Ted. So when I think of Keanu, I think of Speed and I think of Bill and Ted's, man. But I'm an old man.
Dude,
The
Yeah,
Matrix,
he was
I
around
mean.
since Bill and
Matrix.
Ted, you haters, yeah.
For sure. But like I feel like whenever, and I guess what you were saying, Dyslexic, like yeah, he maybe done indie things and kind of stepped away from the spotlight. But when he did, what'd you say that surfer movie was called?
Point Break.
Point Break, yes. So Point Break,
Yeah.
Speed, Matrix, like that was like Keanu Reeves like prime, right? And ever since then, it's not really been anything. And then John Wick comes back, and now he's like one of the biggest names ever again.
But what a great fucking movie.
The John Wicks.
In
Yes.
fact, it was
Yeah.
so great. I was talking about this the other day at work that how many John Wick style movies are just blowing up right now? Like everyone is trying to ride the coattails of that movie.
Yes.
There are so many. One that comes to mind, Monkey Man, which I actually do want to see. I tried. I was talking about it a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't remember the name. But I think that one has good potential. I think that one looks fun.
Right.
But if you really want a good one like that, a subtitle, "The Man from Nowhere." It is an excellent story. Have you seen it, Dyslexic?
Oh, yeah.
You're not.
I haven't.
That's wild. That's a
Oh
wild
my god,
movie.
dude! I absolute like one of the best, just action packed, just kick ass from start to finish, pretty much. It's a short synopsis is it's almost like Taken with Liam Neeson, where it's like this
okay.
girl has a drug addict mother, owes money to like the mob. The mob kidnaps the daughter to get back at the mom, but the guy who like kind of manages the hotel like desk is like a former assassin type guy, and he forms a bond with this little girl. So once the little girl's taken, he's like, I have a very specific set of skills, and I will use them to murder you and save this little girl. And it's just, oh my god, dude, y'all need to watch it. The Man from Nowhere. I cannot recommend it any more highly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I haven't seen it personally.
If you don't mind subtitles, some people are like, I don't watch subtitle movies, but oh, dude, it's so good, so good.
Switching gears a little bit on the style of movies, I guess, I mean, it's still
Yeah.
animated, really, but I'm actually really excited for this new movie, If, from John Krasinski and Steve
looks
Carell.
yeah.
have you seen it,
Yeah.
you guys? Like
I've
seen the
watched
trailer.
previews for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
is it even out yet? I haven't seen it, but I've
No,
seen
it's supposed to come out pretty soon, actually, end of this month or next week, couple weeks or something like
I
that.
think
But
next month, yeah.
yeah, so If is obviously like it's been for imaginary friends, and it's the first time that Steve Carell and John Krasinski have been like reunited since The Office.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Right, so they're on the Office TV show. I love them on the Office TV show, but like
Yeah.
those personalities, like I'm just excited for this movie.
Dude, John Krasinski does great stuff. You know, I'm glad he wasn't just pigeonholed to like an Office TV sitcom character.
Yeah.
Between like what was the one where it's
Ryan Reynolds
where
is
they
in
have
it
to
too,
be
by the way.
quiet? Is it called Quiet or what's the
Oh,
Quiet
A
Place?
Quiet Place, yeah.
Quiet Place. Yep.
Oh my god, dude, what great!
Yep.
It's
Absolutely,
really good, yeah.
He wrote that. Isn't he the director on it, just like he is If?
I think so. Yeah, him
Maybe.
and his wife, man.
Yeah.
But can we just talk about just for a quick second when him and Pam finally hooked up in the office? Can we just talk about how awesome that was? We waited so long for that, dude. I'm so happy for them. So happy for them.
Yes. Yeah. That.
I love you, Pam. You're hot.
Can we also talk about how I have not been hooked on TV shows like The Office or Parks and Rec or 30 Rock or anything like that in a long time. I don't feel like TV shows like nowadays have that same like pull. Do you guys is there a TV show that has pulled you guys in like The Office or whatever lately?
Yeah, and not
What?
lately though. Like I think that's
Not
the part of the problem is the quick wit and like the ability to process. Like everybody just wants that quick, stupid humor now, and like having those more drawn out or like having to think about what's like in the innuendos and stuff. Like
Right.
it just it doesn't captivate people like it used to, and so that comedy just kind of phased out.
I was gonna say I think the last thing that really pulled me in might have been Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was what, like 15 years ago or something. Just
Yeah,
yeah, there's not a
There's been a
whole
lot. There's
lot.
been a lot of thriller type like that ones, but comedies. You know what I'm saying?
You
They're
know,
really.
things like Wilfred with Elijah Wood is
Yeah.
like great, you
Yeah.
know, but it's few and far between that get shows that I just want to binge watch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am only one episode into Fallout, but I am excited to binge watch a few episodes on Friday.
Yep.
Nice.
It's gonna be great. Get caught up a little bit.
Yeah. It's good, and you'll probably appreciate it more than I did. Because like I said, you've played the games, and I never have. So I didn't.
Oh yeah,
I kind of went into it
I've
just from like
looked up the
entertainment
references.
perspective, not knowing the lore or whatever of Fallout.
Whoever asked the question last week when it was like, if you were a Fallout character, what would your special stat be, or what would
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm uniquely trained for this. I pretty much do the same build every time. I have a plan.
Yes. Man, well, moving right along to movies because we just have a ton of different movie type things to talk about. Schmidty, do you want to take over? Like you put this one on there, right?
I did.
Yeah,
These next two I put on there, but
What-
so I was listening to. I heard somewhere I was listening or watching something, and they were talking about how they are remaking the Naked Gun movies, or at least
Yeah.
the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, as I said, with Brandon Lee and The Crow, is it's just like Leslie Nielsen. There's only one
You can't.
Leslie Nielsen, and it's just I'm a little offended at this one. Like I don't know if I can do it. Spoiler alert: they cast Liam Neeson, which
I don't see
he's
it.
had some funny roles in
I
A
don't
Million
see
Ways
it.
to Die, but he has nowhere near just that
Yes.
casual goofiness that Leslie Nielsen. Like it's gonna
Right.
be horrendous.
Right. I don't.
I
When you posted that and I saw that Liam Neeson's the guy that's gonna do it, and I'm like, I don't see that.
That's between that, as I said, The Crow and Naked Gun. I'm like, it
Yeah.
really has me thinking about like movie reboots and just how some things just do not need to be touched at all.
He can
It's
do the
just- it's
deadpan delivery,
offensive.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If he wants to play that hard bad guy, gruffy
As-
voice,
yeah.
serious, cool. But he can't do Leslie Nielsen, bro.
As
No.
bad as
I
it
mean,
sounds,
good on you for the attempt, but
Right.
it's gonna suck.
as bad as it sounds, like Liam Neeson is kind of pigeonholed into that. I have a unique set of skills, like role.
Yeah.
He just plays it
Pinnacle of
so
Liam
well.
Neeson, the
Yeah.
voice of the dad in Fallout 3.
Okay.
In case
He
you didn't
does,
know
yes.
that, Liam Neeson was the
Didn't.
voice of the dad in Fallout 3. That's how the
did
game
not know
starts,
that.
dude. That was that was the
Yes.
pinnacle of his career right there, Fallout 3. After that,
Jeez, I did not
stay
know
out
that.
of it. Done.
I mean, I think it will still be a fun movie to go to, but yeah, I just wish
okay.
that it wasn't slapped with the Naked Gun
they did
logo. You know what I
also
mean?
confirm too in there that maybe what will save the movie is he is working alongside the one,
Yes.
the only Pamela Anderson.
Oh.
Oh, that was
all
where I
right.
was.
So-
all right.
I think Seth
So-
MacFarlane is like spearheading this, so
Maybe
that
Right.
should be fun.
I would rather have Seth MacFarlane just play the Leslie Nielsen, Frank Drebber, dude. I would
I
rather
can see
just
that.
He
have him
probably could actually.
Yeah.
he would
Pretty
do a
good.
better. I think he would do a better job than fucking Liam.
To be
Neeson.
fair, though,
I'm just-
the article said Liam didn't go after this. Like MacFarlane came to him. So
had to have seen something in him. Then.
if MacFarlane sees it, and I'm sure it's because of their interacting on the Million Ways to Die in the West. Like,
Yeah, and I love.
I think it'll be funny, but
Family
yeah,
Guy, the
it
TV
won't be
shows,
the
I think it's
same,
funny, but I've seen A Million Ways to Die in the West. I think twice, and it didn't really land for me personally.
Yeah.
Didn't really land for me personally. I
Same.
was
There
like,
were
I thought
some
it was
parts. There were
eh.
some parts that were funny, but also parts where I feel like, oh, they tried on that one.
Like, yeah,
Sure,
I
yeah.
got a little chuckle, but it wasn't what I had hoped it would have been. But yep, that's a Dead on Arrival movie. Dead on Arrival.
Yep. Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, I'll still probably watch it if I can, but
Right.
I'll still, I'll
Well,
go in
pretty
there
much
with a
anything,
closed mind,
Just
unfortunately.
because, except The Flash, I just refuse to watch The Flash.
Yeah.
Refuse.
I'm gonna skip ahead to the next topic before the video game one, just because it's kind of the last movie type topic. You know what I mean? We'll kind of keep it
Okay.
all together, then we'll talk about video games. And I was thinking about this too as I was kind of putting, our agenda together and just kind of come up with topics to talk about. Movie series in general. It's kind of like what you're talking about with reboots. How are reboots necessary, right? Like, do we need them? Are we running out of ideas? Along those same lines, then, you think about movie series, not like trilogies like Lord of the Rings, but like movie series like Transformers, Fast and the Furious, Mission Impossible. How there's like 10 freaking movies in their series and they're still going.
Yeah.
It's
Final Destination.
Final Destination, exactly.
Exactly.
You know,
It's like, I mean, other than
Scream
the
and
Saw
Friday the
movies,
13th,
Saw movie, it's like, are they too long, or like, are you still hyped for every movie in the series? You know what I mean?
I would say I
Right.
definitely lose the hype, but I don't know. Like something like Fast and the Furious, like I think that should have ended a while back.
Yeah.
Honestly, but
What are they up to now?
10?
You know,
Oh
Fast-
God,
10 or
no,
11?
more
around
than
like
that.
11,
Yeah,
12, something like that.
something
I don't think I've
crazy.
seen past 3. I think
Yeah.
was it Tokyo Drift?
Tokyo
Was that the
Drift.
fourth one?
Yeah, that's yeah.
I was gonna say that was the one I never saw. So I saw 1, 2, and 3, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I don't
Right.
care anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you have
But
like There's what 2 or 3 Gremlins. I think there's been a couple of like little ones that have come out, and then there's like the
Oh, I thought it was just
like
the two.
Dennis.
But
Yeah, and then there's some other like Dennis the Menace style movies, and all these
Yeah.
like Home Alone
Yep.
other ones, and yeah, they definitely.
The Mission Impossible ones, I think I'm okay with, honestly, because they rotate in, they bring in new cast people, like,
Yeah.
and the story evolves and changes with each of the movies, except for this last one. But
Was it Dead Reckoning?
because it's like a two-parter, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But I think the next one's gonna be the last one, right?
for Cruise, at least, it looks like they're
okay.
setting up for somebody else to carry that. But you can always just make it in that universe and not call it Mission Impossible at that
Right.
point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
So, but with Cruise attached to it, I think it's okay to keep calling them that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think a lot depends on like the directors and all of that as well. Like if you get every movie's a different director that has kind of a different idea of like where the story goes, like it can get really bad really fast. And I feel like that as every generation goes on, you get less and less returns. Like it's just more for the fact of living on with the name, like Sharknado. Okay, the first one, great. It had a like Helldivers, a breakout success that no one
Yes.
thought just because it was so bad it was good that it spawned like 8 more Sharknados. But
right. Yeah,
I
like
don't know. I think sometimes they
Yep.
try to live off the success of the name for far
Yeah.
too long, and it's just
Oh yeah,
diminishing
they're up
returns
to like
every
5 or
time.
something with Sharknado, aren't they? Like it's
No, there's more. I
much.
think we're on to 7 or 8, dude. Like for real.
Seriously?
No, seriously.
Oh my God.
Seriously, it's getting absolutely out
They
of
gotta
control.
just
I don't
make
know how
those
many
for
more these
memes,
Tara
though.
Reid could do, dude.
Like, they just gotta make
Somebody
those
has
for
to give
memes.
Tara Reid money,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
it's,
yeah. It was already a meme joke to begin with, and
Yeah.
they basically just that one hit success with the first one. Now they just carry on the name, and it's
lead
like
into it,
no
yeah.
one's really watching them anymore, but they still put them out just to
Well,
put them out, I guess.
with their marketing tactic, and I mean, kind of genius, really. Doesn't the new Sharknado movie come out right around like when Shark Week is?
probably
Don't- I
that
wanna
would
know-
make
Don't they
sense.
time it to like come out around then?
Is when are we
Maybe.
finally going to learn that we just need to get a stripper NATO? Okay, just have the tornado hit a big strip club in a giant town,
That sounds like a porn.
and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it
So
can,
these-
it can be,
these are
it can
different
be
movies,
what you
Schmidt.
need it to be. It can be what you
National
need it
television.
to be. Rated R, not triple X. Rated R is okay. Rated R, you can do a lot with that. Okay,
All right.
who's asking for that? You're like Sharknado still a thing? Who is asking for these movies? No one. No one wants these
Honestly,
movies.
I know my brother-in-law's dad. Absolutely, like they love all those sci-fi cheesy ones because they're watching
Right.
it for the cheese, right?
Uh-huh.
Like they're not watching it for anything other than that. It is to
I-
laugh at it. Like
I may or
that's
may
it.
not. I may or may not own a movie called Sharktopus.
Yes.
which is a half shark, half
Yes.
octopus
Yep.
hybrid.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I own it. I love B horror movies, dude. They're fucking great, man. They're so great.
They are still around for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And sci-fi's just learned to go all in with it instead of
I-
trying to reject it.
Somebody
and make
was
good
like,
movies.
with the stripper NATO, they're like, titty twister just took on a whole new meaning.
Oh, jeez. See, I'd watch that over a Twister remake. for
Schmidt, are you
sure,
about to be a
100%.
director? Are you about to be a director?
I think we're gonna sign up. Whoever wants to audition, get a hold of me. Get a hold of me. We're gonna hold auditions for a stripper NATO here real soon.
Please submit all of your videos right now.
All of your video. I love to watch videos, short videos, long videos. We'll make this happen. Fuji, call me. You'll be the executive director.
Speaking of animal stuff, though, I just saw this earlier when I was putting on Disney for my kids. Do you guys have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Earth Day is Earth Month, I guess, is going on, and they released a very interesting documentary that I can't wait to watch, and it's Secrets of the Octopus.
Oh.
I'm like, is Dyslexic in this? This is
I
about
should
him.
probably check for hidden cameras in my house. Yeah.
Secrets of the Dyslexic. Got it. So yeah,
He's been bugged
I saw that. And I was like, oh, that's going to be an interesting documentary.
by the automatons.
I am curious to see if there's anything new in there that they haven't done 500 other times.
Oh. Wait, are we talking about octopus or Helldivers?
Octopus movies.
Oh, got
like dog documentaries, whatever.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, guys. We have...
Well, I will say, too, just one
Yeah.
last thing. Speaking of octopus,
you're
there
good.
was a father-son duo that recently did catch live octopuses being born. I don't know if that's ever really been
Oh, wow.
captured on film. I haven't watched it yet, but I did hear it on the news and stuff that a family, their pet octopus gave birth to babies, and they have it all on film.
Nice.
So if you want to see dyslexic babies, just go look it up online.
I think
I
the
would.
eggs hatching has been, but not the mating process
Yeah.
for the octopus. Yeah.
Yay.
So that would be cool if they got that.
Yay, he has a clutch. Yay.
All right, guys, let's talk some video games for a change.
Yeah.
What are those?
You're right. You're right. First game, which I'm actually kind of excited because I played the first two in this series. And I played a little bit of the other ones, but I kind of lost interest in the franchise. I think I started playing like other games or whatnot. But Schmidty put in there Gears of War 6.
Yeah, I
Is
know
that-
it's a game
is that
that
happening
I know
or what?
Mr. J and I. Yep, it has been confirmed that is in the works. I think they're looking at a 2025 release. I don't know exactly when, but we are a bit out yet. Don't know much about the story. I never even played through 5.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely behind, but maybe could be a fun Thursday game to
Is that on
play.
Is that on Game Pass?
I think it is.
I think I think they have what is it, the whole like collection, the Gears collection that has like 1 through 1, 2, 3
Okay.
at least, maybe 4. And I know at
Okay.
least I have 5, but that could be maybe. I love those games; they're fun.
Yeah.
Horde mode was a lot of fun. That I love just going against all of those hordes with my friends. The drawback though is to complete all 60 rounds or waves was like a 2.5 hour process. So
Oh,
you had to. Yeah, you had
That's
to
a
buckle
minute,
in
yeah.
for a while if you wanted to go through. And being a smoker too, it was like okay, I'm gonna quick run outside, take a few puffs, and then run
No.
back in and play some games, dude. That was the most stressful part. Is it's like, I can't smoke, dude. This sucks.
So with Gears of War 6,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it's going to have the same issues that Halo Infinite had? Not that it wouldn't be a bad storyline. Like obviously, Gears of War has always had a good story mode, but because I don't see Gears of War 6 being a BR, it'll still have multiplayer like Halo Infinite, right? But it's not in the BR meta right now. So if Gears of War 6 comes out with not a BR, do you think that it's kind of destined to fail?
I think that Gears is going to have a BR because I think a lot of people underestimate just how how strong that player base is. Like the Gears of War PvP players are fucking sweaty.
Yeah.
There might not be as many in Valorant and all these other popular games, but the ones that play it, man, like they are dedicated shotgunners.
Yeah.
They are good.
Yeah.
And they are super into it. So any Gears of War, I think the PvP is almost more important than
The story
the
mode?
actual story itself,
yeah.
because the PvP is what's going to keep that story or that game alive
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah.
And even Moist Critical recently, I saw he was actually playing like Gears of War, the original story. And there was like 18,000 people watching him, you know, like people are still really into it. And they were doing
chainsawing people is
PvP and
so
everything
fun.
else. Like, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It's
so
so satisfying.
fun. You had to carry the Lancer, dude. I would die without the Lancer and my chainsaw 100%. Like, I will just lay down and die and give up.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very satisfying. Yes, I played the first one. I never played any other ones though.
Yeah.
I played them all. I made probably more of my Xbox Live friends playing Gears games, just doing like horde mode and doing the fuck around. Most of my friends came from Alien versus Predator and Gears of War games. Love
AVP
horde
was so good.
mode. I was an alien for life, baby. Xenomorph. I was good. My buddy X Limes, we were in the top, I think, definitely top 200 in the world, man. We at one point, that was the one game that I was
Sweaty?
actually good at. That I was actually good at.
And now what happened to you?
God, I got old. Watched too much porn. Smoked too much pot.
Your reaction time slowed just a tad.
What?
That's fair. I put this next topic on there, and I'm excited to talk about it. Now, I don't want to rub it in or anything, but I'm excited to bring it up because I got so much shit for not falling into like the Diablo 4 hype. I played it, but I kind of quickly like got out of it, and I never got into Last Epoch. There was so much hype around Last Epoch. Like for 2 months, that game was just everywhere, blowing up. And now I feel like, I mean, there could, but I feel like no one's talking about it. No one's replaying it anymore. Is that just like the lifespan of an ARPG where like it's just waiting for more content, then it'll pop up? Or like did people figure out that Last Epoch isn't as good as what they thought originally?
I think there's just a lot of other games pulling people away at the moment. I think a lot of people went into the season, like myself, that had a particular build that they wanted to do that I was all hyped, you know, we were all hyped about. We did it. We did what we wanted to. But then things like Helldivers with, what is it? Critical. There's another game kind of like Lethal Company. It's like that
Content
real
warning?
indie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, all these, and then Pal World and Enshrouded's been kind of getting a little more buzz again. I think there's just it's a pretty competitive market for a change right now for people's attention. And I think, and right now I do feel like there's a new ARPG that comes out like every other month. Like right now, No Rest for the Wicked came out.
Yep.
Yesterday, the day before. And so that's going to be the APR, you know, the ARP genre, that game that's going to be hitting for a while, and then people will move on to something else. But I think until the next season or like next kind of league or whatever they call them again, whenever that comes in, I think it'll bring a surge of players again, but it'll be the ebb and flow of every other game.
Sure.
I did look up some Steam kind of stats. It did look like that it has peaked at about 11,000 players in the last 24 hours, but when you look at the last 30 days, it lost about 58,000 players.
Yeah.
Which is a 72% loss in the last 30 days of the player base.
Yep.
And so the all-time
New World.
peak, 258, were 11,000. Yeah, and as of 3 hours ago, there was 6,700 people playing.
New World. Oh, man, crazy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And so it's definitely taken a hit, but the game did just release back in February, and 2 months in, that's pretty typical for the genre. But yeah, it's everyone's waiting for the new cycle. Thank you, Fuji. That's what they're called.
Yep.
That's one of those things where I think DLC or adding extra bits to the story the next season would help keep those things alive. Because once
I know they're
if
looking
you have
ahead.
no interest in doing other builds, then once it's done, it's done.
Right. Like I said, I never got into it. I just kind of know that like it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it, and it's like now I kind of hardly hear anything about it anymore.
Right.
So
And people are just I'm just like Diablo or Torchlight or Path of Exile. Everyone goes into the league with that one build that they want to do,
yep.
maybe two, but then they go do what they want to do, and then they're on to something else. And it's such a competitive market right now with so many great indie games vying for your attention, and other ones are succeeding. Is it necessarily dying? I'm like, no, it's gonna have its place in the scene, but it's gonna be just like every other one, where everyone's gonna go up at the new season, and then within 2 months it's gonna crash, and then the new season's gonna come out, it's gonna go back up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 180,000 see 70 to 80% of players returning for the next cycle. Now the true test will be unlike New World, this is really only been officially released for 2 months.
Right.
Where New World's been out for a few years, and it's like, yeah, okay,
And
numbers are a little more definitive over there. Where here, it's
they're leaving.
we really got to see kind of how they add, and they are looking at expanding quite a bit, and have been very vocal about it, and been very communicative with the audience. So, with that going for them, I mean, I have every bit of faith that it'll turn out to be okay.
Yeah. That's fair. It's fair. So earlier in the stream, you guys, we did get a community question dropped by 11 Bang Bang, and I posted it in the agenda there. Have you guys seen or heard of this gameplay for Gray Zone Warfare?
Oh yes.
No.
So I linked it there. Apparently, it's similar to like Escape from Tarkov.
Yes.
More of like a World War type of feel setting. But it's gonna have like an Escape from Tarkov feel. I don't know. I haven't heard much about it. Dyslexic, what do you know?
I was mostly watching like play testing on it, and I think it is one of those too where it might have NPCs littered in as well that you could potentially interact with on your thing as well. But I think it was supposed to take place in like not everybody's an enemy, right? Like, so a war zone, but you're kind of in between the front line and out, and it more like a contractor, right? So like,
sure.
You're not fighting for a particular nation, you're fighting for like a private company, I think is more of what it's.
Yeah. I guess this isn't World War time. This is more, is this like more just modern time? It's not supposed to be a more.
Yeah, this is modern. Yeah.
Okay. I kind of glanced at it earlier, and it kind of looked like it was.
Yeah, it is very Tarkov-y, but I think they're going to offer a lot of more different mission types. Like, I think there will be true missions versus just drop in and loot stuff and get out.
Sure.
So I think there's actual like objectives you have to knock out. Whereas in Tarkov, you can for a quote unquote story mode, but it's not truly necessary.
These extraction shooters are also kind of taking off. I feel like ARPGs and extraction shooters are like starting to be a lot more popular.
Yeah.
When are we gonna create? When are we gonna create a video game, guys?
Call the
when you
free
give us
streamers
that
in a hot tub.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'll do it
after he makes his Twisters movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, guys. You guys go ahead and talk real quick. My son just woke up, so I'm gonna talk to him real quick. So take over real quick.
Podcast.
I'll be right back. I know.
Things to do.
I know. Just a second. Yes, buddy. Well, I have something in front of the door, buddy. I can't get to you. Come here. Come here. What do you want? Oliver, I'm streaming, buddy. Okay, I'm working. Sissy, I love you guys. Can you go lay with mommy? Guys, can you go lay with mommy? Okay, go lay with her. I love you guys. Oliver, Emery, I love you. Oh
But
my
I mean,
gosh.
even Mr. J
You ever
got
used to
bored
put
in
like
New
a
World, so
like
you
a
know.
light layer? You ever put like a light layer on your hand to let it dry and it would get
Oh
all
yeah,
wrinkly,
and
and you're like,
peel it
"Eh."
off like skin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
I'm a
You ever
snake.
do it on your wiener?
All right, gentlemen.
Oh wait, so nobody could even
I'm
hear our
back.
conversations?
Dude,
Wow. Oh
I
my
pressed
god.
I pressed the wrong button. So I
Wow.
hit.
Don't worry, my chat heard us.
Wow.
Okay,
God dang
dyslexic.
it.
I
Good,
find our
good. As long
conversation
as somebody
important.
knew that we were
I
actually
find our
doing our
conversation
jobs
important.
while he left.
Dude, guys, instead of hitting mute, because I was just gonna mute
Mhm.
myself so you guys couldn't hear me, right? I hit the
Mhm.
deafen.
Good job.
So it's like, God,
So why isn't Schmidty running this?
Schmidty, really, I make one mistake and then I get pushed aside? Huh? I make one mistake and I get pushed aside? Gosh, man. But, all right,
Oh,
guys.
yes, voice. It's
Oh.
Milky White.
Finally, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know what you're talking about.
we should probably get some Helldivers. What do you guys think?
Hour.
That you guzzling the white juice?
Oh, yes, it's so good.
My gosh, I can't with these people right now.
We're good. I'm done. We're good.
But all right, man, let's get some Helldivers. How about that?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Every Tuesday here on the After Hours podcast, Schmidtty32, DyslexicOctopi, Mr. J. Gilbert. Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to tune in and drop any questions that you may have. We'll try to answer them on stream. If not, be sure to join any of our Discords, any of our streams. Ask some questions there, and we'll be sure to talk about them on the next episode. So, Dyslexic, why don't you give us a send off this time?
Oh, I get a send off?
Yeah.
Oh man. Did I disappear yet? I'm trying to activate my chromatophores.
Camouflage the
it work?
chromatophore.
Where's the fade? Can I have the fade?
Dang it.
Oh, that's what you can do in the video. Like just add a fade at the end, and we'll just
Oh
fade
yeah,
it.
yeah. Just
Have like
fade
a
it.
have like a
And then
squid ink
we'll
going
have
on.
dyslexic at the end. You'll be able to like keep the audio up, and he'll be
That's
like,
true.
"Am I gone yet?" And then it'll end right there. Perfect, dude. Cut, scene, print, send, done.
But all right, man.
Did it as long as my bad eye will let me.
We'll catch you guys next week.
It's a bit.